So you breed Chihuahuas.
I do, yes, Chihuahuas.
Are they long-haired and smooth-coated?
Yeah, so the Chihuahua is one breed with two varieties, one variety being smooth coat, one variety being long coat. You might touch on this later, but that means there is no such thing as a deer head Chihuahua or an apple head Chihuahua or a teacup Chihuahua. It is just smooth and long.
Okay, gotcha. So can you tell me a little bit about the breed and how you got into breeding them?
Yeah, so funny enough, growing up, I actually really didn't like Chihuahuas at all. I wanted to grow up and be a pit bull rescuer. And I do have a rescue pit bull, so my dreams weren't, completely crushed. But I do like fosters and stuff, but y'all are hear about my Chihuahuas. So I was in college and I did what all college kids do. And I didn't do any research and didn't look into anything at all and was just completely crazy and found some dogs on Facebook, which is where I rescued my pit bull from. And then once again, I was a young, crazy person and I was like, he needs a friend, But I lived in a 650 square foot apartment and I was like, okay, cool. Like, what is relatively cheap for a college girl and what can I fit in my 650 square foot apartment? A Chihuahua, right? Well, so that is how I got Pip. And he's actually right here on my desk. I'll show him to you. Come here, Bubby. I work from home, so I have a little bed on my desk.
Uh-huh.
So I got Pip.
Hi, Pip.
And Pip is the biggest genetic dumpster fire you have ever met in your life. I love him. I would literally sell my firstborn child to keep this dog alive for the rest of my life. He is my heart and soul. Well, he has hip dysplasia. I've repaired both of his patellas. He has really, really bad curvature in his spine. So now we have a suspicion of IVDD. His little legs are completely crooked and sideways. The only good thing about him is the fact that he has the most beautiful temperament ever. Well, I went to PetSmart one day with him and I was so excited because I had my pretty little Chihuahua and I ran into this old lady holding a long coat Chihuahua. And I was like, what is that? I've never seen this before in my life. And she was telling me it was a Chihuahua and that it was so cool. And I was like, oh my God, I have a Chihuahua. He's the best thing ever. And basically she looked me in the eyes, looked at Pip and was like, that is the ugliest dog I've ever seen. So I said, okay. So that is what kind of made me start learning about ethical Chihuahuas and what a Chihuahua is supposed to look like. And then I really didn't want to breed or get into any of that until he started having his problems. And to me, these dogs live 18 plus years. It's really, I'm going to get a little cryy about it because I really do love this dog and he's the whole reason I did any of this stuff. But it's so important to me that dogs that live this long deserve to not be in pain. He started Librella at 3 years old. There's no reason a dog should be bred like this. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to do it at least the right way, is to try it.
Yeah.
And so for me, all I could see around me were, dogs that didn't have a good temperament. They were mean. They were aggressive. They were people that just hated Chihuahuas like I did growing up, and getting to experience how fantastic he was really made me want to, kind of try my hand at it and see if I'm able to do a little better and put a good pet in somebody's home that can be healthy and happy and do all of the things, because they're a companion breed. They're supposed to companion with you everywhere, if your dog's not built to last that long or built to do the things you want to do with them, then it's not fair. And so I wanted to do that. I'm really nervous. I ramble when I'm nervous. So
you're good. How old is he?
He is going to turn 6 in August.
Okay. So
he's a baby.
How long have you been breeding?
I had my first litter in 2022, I think. And I've only had 4 litters so far. Yeah, I had my singleton puppy, I had 2 regular litters, and then another single. Yeah, I've had 4 litters.
Okay. And because I noticed that Pip is Merle, I have, that's very controversial. I feel like Chihuahuas being Merle. I know that AKC accepts it, but like when you Google, do Chihuahuas naturally come in Merle? Google says no. So like, what's up with that?
So the AKC right now is currently the only registry that actually accepts Merle. Historically, our standard has always said any color, solid marked or splashed. The very first kennel club to disqualify Merle was actually Canada. There was a woman up there, and I'm getting this information from the historian of the AKC for the Travel Club of America. She says that Canada was actually the first club to ban Merle. And it was a woman named Edna who like super hated Merles for some reason. And so she kind of pinpointed this whole, group against Merles, and they got rid of it first. And then the parent, like the parent foundation in Mexico got rid of it after that. And so it's kind of spiraled from there where people started getting rid of Merle, but there has been Merle in our breed for a very long time. Chihuahuas are considered what's called a landrace breed. So similar to a Xoloitzcuintli Queently. They came from like a similar area, Aztecs, like that's where Chihuahuas came from. And so they kind of bred on the streets and they interbred, and there's a suspicion that the Merle was originally introduced from English herding dogs that were brought into Mexico like way, way, way back in the day when they were all kind of interbreeding in the streets. And then once, we started selectively breeding smaller and smaller and smaller, they became the Chihuahua that we see today. But there is some controversy to it, of course. I have not bred Merle. I am never going to say I wouldn't, because we have Merles that are, winning championships. We have Merles that are in the top 30 of our breed. We are doing it. So that's kind of my take on it. It's one of those, like, I don't do it, but I don't really have a strong opinion on it because it is accepted in the AKC.